EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Acrisure Stadium on the north shore of the Steel City, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Today we've got a good one on tap in the AFC North, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Two hard-hitting blue-collar franchises, one of the better rivalries going. The Ravens and Steelers are underway. And able to get this out to the 25. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by the former Buckeye, the young rookie QB from Ohio State.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now, because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is going to lose yardage here. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. Run coverage, excellent there from the defensive end position.
How many times do we sit with coaches and they talk about a base defensive end, a guy who can anchor and play with leverage? We just saw a great example of it. And how about the bonus, tackling the runner for a loss?
That's complete to his tight end flyer move.
Pass interference. Defense.
So the PI decline, and that'll give him a fresh set of downs.
And when you scout tight ends, one thing you want to know, just how strong they are. And we saw it in evidence there. He was able to fight through all the contact and still secure the football.
They go play action here on first down. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Michael Pittman that time. And that'll bring up second down. Off play action. Howard. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. He'll get it to the 40. Broke a tackle there to get some extra yardage. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's second and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up on a second and 4 now from the 40-yard line. They run here with Rico Dowdle. And some nifty running right away as he'll get this up past the 30. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain. 13 yards that time and another first down.
First down.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
On the run, it's Dowdle. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I think that run gives us evidence that the defense is getting a little bit tired out there. They've been out in the field for a long time, and that last run, they just cut right through them.
4 receivers to keep tabs on here. 3 of them to the right side on 2nd and 5. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it's 3rd and 4 now.
A yard on the play brings up 3rd and 4.
Off the play fake. Howard. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. That sack there, that likely brings out the field goal unit, so they might have to settle for 3 here on their opening drive.
They did some nice things getting things started there, moving the ball downfield, but taking that sack on 3rd down, that lets the air out of the momentum balloon just a little bit.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. This will be, let's see, 38 yards out. Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. No touchdown there, but if that first drive is any indication, looks like they're going to have a pretty good day passing the football.
I would say confidence would have to be pretty high after that first drive, able to throw it almost at will. You're exactly right. They didn't get the touchdown, but 3 points serves as a nice notice about how this offense is going to move.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. First carry now for Justice Hill. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Here's Jackson to throw. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
That's going deep for Bateman. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Good clean play, no flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3-and-out.
The Ravens send their punter out now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 38-yard line.
Back to throw. Howard. Oh, what a move. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
Rico,
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle him for just a short gain.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll go with a keeper. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. Only a few inches needed on the sneak. He didn't get it, and now it's 4th down.
Well, that wound up backfiring. Instead of handing it to your workhorse fullback or running back, they went quarterback sneak, and now they have to punt it away.
On 4th down, the Steelers call on Corliss Waitman to punt. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
They begin the drive with Hill. And he's going to be unable to get upfield as they take him down at the 21-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Jackson now off the bootleg. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore 1st down.
But give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42.
10 more yards. He's brought down at the 42-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. Again, it's Henry. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line.
It's a gain
A
of
big
18.
one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
For a Baltimore 1st down. A gain of 18 on the play. 1st down, Ravens.
Nothing too fancy, just a carry up the middle, but a successful carry up the middle against this 3-4 defense.
And to be able to do that, what do you have to control? The nose guard, right? Got to be able to move him. Otherwise, you're not getting anything up the middle. Nice job by the center. Got a little help from one of his friends playing guard.
No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Let him go by a little too easily there.
Well, that's what we saw on film, isn't it? His head goes down oftentimes when he goes to punch, when he's trying to block. And when you do that, you can't see your target. He went right past him and made the play.
Quick throw there is incomplete.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver. And it results in an incomplete pass.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Jackson. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Steelers are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
Well, you can just see this one coming, couldn't you? It's an obvious passing situation, 3rd and long. The defense is going to bring in 2 more defensive backs and say, you want to throw? Go ahead. We dare you. And there's just no one open anywhere as they come away with the interception.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Now a short pass pulled in by Washington. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And that will bring up 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. A handoff for Warren. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
A 2-yard pickup brings up 3rd and 6.
And defensively, Baltimore's in a dime look here on 3rd. Operating from the gun, Howard. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the 1st down at a 21-yard gain.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the 1st down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play, 2nd down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football. 2nd and 6. As they've got it as we resume action. They run here with Dowdle. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And the Steelers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, and pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach, all game long, all practice long, every meeting. Get the football. That's what they want.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting 1st downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it. As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
A short throw caught by Andrews. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Now a 3rd and 6. Now it's Jackson. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
Baltimore, first down. A gain of 15. And the Raven, first down.
A first down carry for Henry. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Now it's Jackson. That's complete. It's Zay Flowers with it. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 29-yard line.
That's good.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Henry out of the pistol. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes that's a danger putting that jumbo set out there. You just get a lot of bodies massed in one location. You could wind up with 18, 20, maybe even all 22 in the box, and there's nowhere to run the football.
In motion comes the tight end left. Jackson. This will go to Henry out wide. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Complete to Derrick Henry. A gain of 4. And it's 3rd down.
In motion left, Flowers. Jackson now. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble. They recover, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
Field goal's all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. Seemed like they picked an excellent time there, Charles, to go with a draw play.
They certainly did. Caught him a little over-eager trying to get into the backfield and get to the quarterback. They used their speed and their aggressiveness against them, didn't they?
Howard now off the play fake. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards that time, and a Pittsburgh first.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Yeah, take this to the 46.
Dowdle, the ball carrier. He was tackled at the 46-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Second down and 8. Looking to throw. Howard. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He'll try to pick it up himself, and he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first.
That's another Steelers first down. 1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
Check. Crunch.
Back to throw. Howard. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Pat Freiermuth from 8 yards out. And the Steelers have taken the lead.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now.
Ravens 3.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And now here come the Ravens. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. He'll start with a give to Henry. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's a 2nd down and 9. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Jackson. He'll try and do this himself. The quick feet by Jackson. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. Oh, Lamar Jackson just so electric, Charles, when he gets into open space, and we saw Exhibit A right there.
You know something? I'm standing up here in the booth next to you watching the play. He buckled my ankles on that one as well. It doesn't matter whether you're actually on the field trying to chase him or you're just watching him play. This guy is sheer excitement.
Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6.
He was brought down by Cole Holcomb. A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 25-yard line.
3 yards to go on 2nd down, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. Jumbo set. They'll run it again with Henry. And out of bounds right around the 20. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
That's good.
Let's face it, when you have a guy who can pick up those types of runs and keep the chains moving or stay ahead of the chains, you're making everyone else on offense happy because you're opening things up to allow for a whole lot of different play calls.
And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Taken down at the 19-yard line. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. 2nd and 8 coming from the 19. To throw is Jackson. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And the Ravens are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
That's another Baltimore 1st down. 1st and goal, Baltimore.
But they've certainly not shied away from throwing the footballs. They've leaned on their quarterback to start this game. 4 straight passes right out of the gate, with that last one earning them a new set of downs.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Henry. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. Throwing is Jackson. They set up the screen to Hill. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Third down and goal to go.
And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? Here's Jackson. And it's caught. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Zay Flowers from 3 yards out. And the Ravens are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Tyler Loop now for the extra point. And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Out is their quarterback with this offense to take over once more. He had the short touchdown pass on their previous drive, and they'll begin again here on 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Howard. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else. Ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
Here's 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Howard. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 4th down, the Steelers call on Corliss Waitman to punt. There'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And they'll have 50 seconds to work with, so that really plenty of time to try to put something together. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing to start the drive. Jackson. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Intended for number 86. Incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. And Walker with it over the middle. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
The Ravens send their punter out now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. The Steelers taking over now late in this first half as we eke closer and closer to intermission. Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like, because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Howard throwing to start the drive. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive lineman. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
18-yard line.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Howard. He'll get this to his running back, Dowdle. And the Steelers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
That's good for a Steelers first down. 1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
So we are deadlocked at the break here, and the EA Sports Halftime Report starts now. Here's Scott Hanson.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Scott Hanson here with an abridged version of the Halftime Report. Both offenses still trying to find their way. Tight, competitive game, though, as we are tied at the half. To find out who will come out on top, let's rejoin our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Scott, thanks very much. And we welcome all of you back here on EA Sports for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
Now a 2nd and 10. Jackson firing quickly out wide for Bateman. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
A 5-yard pickup on the play. And it's 3rd down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. The quick feet by Jackson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
And the Baltimore 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Are you kidding me? Really?
On 3rd down, he obviously wants to throw the football, but there's nowhere to go with it, so he takes off and goes. And now as he gets to the 1st down marker, he blows right past it and picks up big yardage. Partner, that's a great bit of improvisation.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. 42 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Second down and 4. On the counter, it's Henry. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Jamel Dean on the tackle. It's a gain of a yard. Brings up 3rd down and 2.
They'll try to run for the 1st with Henry. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Tyler Loop now to try the field goal. He hit his first, this one from 38.
38-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. And they will take the lead at 13-10. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no wind. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
Back to it now after the made field goal. Here's Luke to kick this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards. 2nd down.
Down at the 31. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Second down and 6 now. Warren will try to right side. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
And the Steelers.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A running play. It's Dowdle. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game.
They run again with Dowdle. Nifty footwork at the 45. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
They'll get this one complete there to Pittman.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively, but they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
Gets past him at the 10. A tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further.
72 yards rushing for him now to this point.
There's so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power and break tackles, as we just saw in that play.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown.
Jalen Warren,
An 8-yard touchdown run.
and the Steelers have retaken a third-quarter lead. So a very strong first drive in the second half, Charles, as they turned that halftime deficit into a third-quarter lead.
And they were pretty purposeful there, weren't they? Measured in their approach. But, boy, they executed awfully well moving the ball down the field.
Extra point now by Boswell. And that will make this a 4-point game. So this drive spans 7 plays and a 9-yard run on the end of it. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. Baltimore about ready to go on offense.
And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Well, the tide definitely seems to be turning in this third quarter as this defense is able to knock the ball free and recover.
And let's look at it this way. Their offense is right back out there who just got them the lead a few minutes ago. This has the potential to be a big swing in this game.
The Steelers ready to take over on offense.
Well, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd want to get right back out there and get after them because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after him.
Now Howard. Following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. They'll look to throw here on first down. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Partner, remember that old film of Peyton Manning going through the route tree with his great receivers in Indianapolis? I think we're seeing the results of the same type of work here today. These guys know each other so well, they don't even have to call the play. They can just look each other and know the route that's going to be run, and usually the connection is perfect.
Boswell for the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Ravens offense and Lamar Jackson set to take over once again. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with ways to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those opportunities into big plays. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Jackson, option right. And Jackson going to have the first down as he will get to the ground to avoid the contact. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains. A nice run there. He calls his own number, gets the first down, and it slides to a stop before he has to take any contact.
And that absolutely has to please this coaching staff, because you know they've been drilling into his head. You're no good to us on the sidelines if you're not playing, right? If you have to be over here full-time with us, that doesn't work so well. We need you on the field, so sliding like that, they'll take that every time.
2 yards on the pickup there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
And he'll go right back to Andrews. And Andrews going to have a Ravens first down up near midfield, spotted at the 48. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. At the 48-yard line. Henry up the middle. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. 52 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. 2nd and a yard. from the 43. Here's second down and a yard. Inside handoff, Henry. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Look, I realize on any play call, when it's properly executed, it can go for a touchdown. But the runs that really make it work are the ones where you just get what you need, right? And he barely got the first down, but he got it.
They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Again to Henry. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give him 17 on that pickup. It may sound cliche, but those are the types of yards he can get you. He's such a bruising back.
He is, and typically with that type of a back, if he has any type of stamina, it shows up later in the ball game. Because trust me, guys get tired of running up and trying to tackle that big fella. It wears on him, and then he gets stronger as the game goes on.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. That one into the hands of Flowers. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down.
He's out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage.
Now the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this third and long. They set up the screen for Henry. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and it'll be fourth down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
So 3 points, maybe not a grand prize at this stage, but it does get them back within one score.
It certainly does because now they stay within shouting distance, so that means everyone on your sideline stays engaged in this game. They know they still have a shot.
Back to it now after the made field goal. Here's Luke to kick this one away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Now, a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
I had to do a double take on that one, Brandon, because so far in this game, we haven't seen many of his passes fall incomplete.
A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. Third quarter action in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, PA. On the run, it's Dowdle. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. They'll try and sneak it here. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. Only a yard on the sneak, not enough. And he's a few inches short for 4th down.
Well, they gave it a shot, quarterback sneak. Not able to get it.
No, but if you're going to call a QB sneak on 3rd down, you draw it up to get it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Maybe they were thinking 4-down territory.
The Waitman now to punt as he sends this one away. Pulled in at the 24. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Ravens offense and Derrick Henry set to take over once more. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Here now, 2nd and 4. Jackson, options out left. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. He has enough for the 1st down on the keeper, a gain of 6.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, that'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th. He was looking for Rashad Bateman there. And now it's 2nd down.
By Joey Porter Jr.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Here's Jackson to throw. And a quick throw there is incomplete.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 38-yard line.
And the Baltimore 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
And that's a much-needed 1st down right there. Look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'd put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a 4th down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now.
Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Here's 2nd and 7. Jackson. His throw incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Now it's Jackson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Flowers. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the 1st down.
It's 4th down.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They're going for it with the option right. Oh, great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. That one good for 17 yards on 4th. Couldn't ask for much more from your offense there. 1st down.
That was 4th and what we would call long in that situation, wasn't it? That wasn't 4th and inches, was it?
No, I mean, you get in those situations 4th and 3, 4th and 4. That's a lot to, what would you say, a lot of pizza left in that box.
It certainly is. Not everyone dove in on that one. In today's NFL, this is a passing down, all right? This is not a running down. That takes a lot of guts to call that play and even better execution.
Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Jackson. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Intended for Tez Walker. Incomplete. The coverage by Joey Porter Jr.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Operating from the gun, Jackson. Now he's going to step up and run. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short. Gain of 9 that time on the scramble, 1 yard shy of the marker, and it brings up 4th.
That looked great when he first took off because, in my mind, there was room to run, and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forces him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the 1st down. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. So that's the 2nd time this game they've given it up on 4th down. They're now 1 for 3 on 4th down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on 4th down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped them 2 out of 3 times. Usually you have 4th down plays that you have dialed up and ready to go and you think are going to be successful. Not so far in this game.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. That's one where you probably give the ball carrier a bit of a mulligan, right?
Yeah.
I mean, where was he going to go there?
Yeah, you could almost see his brain turning over from our perspective. Just put your foot in the ground and go, except there was no place to put his foot in the ground, and there was no place to go. No room to roam.
2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14.
I think it might be time to move to a different section of the playbook there because back-to-back runs, both for loss. Now they have 3rd and long coming up.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Oh, what a great job defensively to stack things up. They were committed to stopping the run. They knew it was coming. And now it looks like they should get the football back as they force an important 3 and out.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. And the busy night for Henry continues. And they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 85 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
The way the game has changed a little bit is that defensive goals have changed in a big way. Nowadays, it's not so much stopping certain yardage or whatever, but it's not giving up big, explosive plays. Anything over 10 yards, you're trying to hold teams below that. When they get one against you, as we just saw there, boy, that really hurts them. It puts them back on their heels a little bit and makes them a little bit less confident.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Well, he's had success running the football in this one, and that's undeniable. But that time, the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
They're able to locate Andrews here on the out route. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
And they just did not get the snap away in time.
Delay of game, offense.
So that flag will set him back 5 yards.
Still first down.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Now it's Jackson. That's complete, left side to Bateman. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
Complete to number 7, Rashad Bateman. A gain of 10 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 16.
2nd and 5. Jackson going to keep it running right. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal.
And that's another big-time run, and it sure looks like the leverage game is being won by the offensive line. They're the low man on just about every snap, and they're winning, pushing back the defensive front and creating great space for their runners.
They'll try to run for it with Henry. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Derrick Henry taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Ravens have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. So part 1 of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They've still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come.
The Ravens will line up for the 2-point
Jackson
conversion.
here is going to look to throw. And he's got it. The conversion good, and we are tied in the 4th. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done, get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, Plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a first down.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
On the tackle. It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 48-yard line.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a score to break this tie. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. Nothing open downfield. They went underneath.
Yeah, see if you can get it to your running back. See if he can make someone miss in the open field.
3rd and 6.
They'll come to the line now on a 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Howard. And that is incomplete.
Intended for Michael Pittman Jr.
Oh, boy, this sets up for a huge call now on 4th down because you can try the long field goal, you could go for it, or you could punt and play for overtime. I am so glad, partner, that I don't have to make those kind of decisions. Let's see what they decide.
The Steelers send out their punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They, of course, tie game, would like to avoid overtime if they could.
And a lot of people would go ahead and play it safe here and get to overtime and try and win it there. But, you know, sitting up here in the booth,
take some gambles.
I say let's go for this thing, try and push it, and maybe catch the defense back on their heels a bit.
See if they do that.
the 45-yard line. 1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
They'll come up now, 2nd and 9. Now Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
All 3 timeouts still at their disposal. Here's 1st and 10 now. A 20th carry now for Derrick Henry. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Again, it's Henry. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
At the 16-yard line.
Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Here's second down. Now a handoff to Henry. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
All right, my man, this is now where it's risk-reward. Because on defense, you've got to crowd the line of scrimmage. You've got to get in all the gaps, get up tight on everyone, and try and force the field goal attempt here. You can't let them break one big, but you know something, when you crowd the line of scrimmage, if they do pop one, it's going to go a long way.
Yeah, I was going to say, could take it to the house, but the magnitude of this possible upcoming field goal, every yard counts. Yeah, Henry fighting for the marker, but I don't think he got there. He did not.
No gain on the play. It's fourth down.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. He's hit 3 times already, and this for the win. And his kick is indeed good, and they have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory, and it took a big fourth quarter to do it, but they were able to get the job done, and that's the bottom line.
No doubt about it, and let's face it, they had to be more than nervous in the fourth quarter, but a lot of that was their own doing. I think you observed during the game, their energy level just didn't seem to be there. But in the fourth quarter, somehow they dug deep and found that extra bit, right? That reserve tank. They hauled it out. Offense scored some points. Defense held them. And lo and behold, they walk away with a win. Maybe expend a little more energy than they expected to, but they'll take it.
So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.